So you lost weight and then you gained it back. Listen, I can understand how frustrating that can be, how disappointing and maybe even discouraging that can be. I'm going to show you exactly what steps you need to take to lose the weight and keep it off. Okay. This is the missing link. Okay. Especially if you're a high achieving, busy professional, CEO, executive, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. Because your life is not the same as everybody else's. You have to have something that fits your demanding lifestyle. Not to mention if you have family that you're taking care of. So you got all these other responsibilities along with your career, right? These are things that I've been helping my coaching clients do. I want to talk about this today because I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me on Instagram, on Facebook, saying that they dropped weight and they gained it back. I seen somebody on one of my posts on Instagram. They say they lost, it was like 100 pounds, and then they gained back 70. Like, oh, so frustrating. I can imagine, and even it's embarrassing. A lot of people don't talk about that. And so it's a couple of things that you have to be aware of that, I see a lot of my coaching clients, even after they've lost quite a bit of weight, 40, 50, 60 pounds, maybe even 100 pounds, right? For some of them. And they still had this sense of like anxiety and like, man, I don't want to gain this weight back, man. I know I'm getting ready to graduate the program, but how do I keep this weight off? Shouts out to my client, Ann Hollins. She's down 110 pounds. And when she was down about 80 pounds, she was getting anxious. She was like, Coach, whenever I get around this weight range right here, I always end up going back the wrong way. Like, what do I need to do to stay on track to keep this weight off? I've realized over the years, a lot of people go through that same sense of anxiety. Okay. And so here's the thing, most people think that, with their busy, demanding careers, they lack time. And here's the thing, if you drop weight, that lets you know that you've done something right. And so it's not a matter of needing more time, it's a matter of following the right structure consistently. Okay. And to be even more specific, you got to have non negotiables. You got to have non negotiable guys. Okay. It's like in your career, you've been able to excel in your career because there's certain non negotiables that you do every single day. Some of them you might not even realize that you're doing them anymore because it's just like a part of who you are. You wake up, you may hop on your phone, look at your calendar. You wake up, you may look at get to your laptop, and you may say, okay, well, I need to call these people today. I need to do X, Y, and Z today. And it's just like so effortless because it's just like it's a part of who you are that allows you to excel in your career. These are your non-negotiables. Okay. There's certain uniform that you wear, certain socks that you wear, certain way that you wake up, you pray, you do certain things before you get going. You got to have the same thing if you want to be able to lose weight and keep it off. The issue that I see that most people have is this. A lot of people, they're looking at weight loss as like a destination. So they lose 20, 30, 50 pounds. And then what happens is once they get close, they let their foot off the gas. Or once they get to the goal, they stop doing what they were doing prior that got them the results. And so if you're somebody and you're like, man, every time I start losing weight, I always start gaining it back. I always let my foot off the gas. I always get all excited about the results that let up. That's a pattern. Okay. And you have to be aware of that pattern. The other pattern that I see is people hit the goal and then they just forgot that they had a routine. How can you forget the things that you were doing and stop doing these things? My guys, the only way that I can guarantee my clients get the results and they can keep the results, and I'm very transparent with my clients about this. I say to them, I'm going to show you the lifestyle around how to build a healthy relationship with food. I'm going to show you the lifestyle on how to do lifestyle based training because we're not doing like generic cookie cutter workouts. It fits their schedule. That way they can consistently do them. But I tell them, once we get you these results, if you stop doing what got you the results, you will gain this weight back. You will. We see this all the time with people. Rahul, I see you down there. I'll address your comment in just a second. Um, we see this all the time. People who may do the detox diet, they may do the 21-day fasting diet, and they're doing it to lose weight. But what happens when they stop? They gain weight back. It happens to people all the time, but they're not thinking about long term. Like my clients who are really successful, and I'm looking at them on social media, and I'm like, man, they kept the weight off. One of my coaching clients I trained about, this was about 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a minute. He sent me a message on Instagram, on Facebook out of nowhere. And I can't remember what he was talking about. He was like, man, I'm here now. Oh no, he did a pull up. He was able to do a pull up. He was like, this would have never been able to been possible had I not been coaching with you, because he dropped about 60 pounds working with me, and he continued to drop afterwards. Okay, so I set him up, got him the lifestyle, put the nutrition in place for him, training in place for him, and he continued to drop weight. You know, and so I say that because the people who make this into a lifestyle and they think long term, these are the people that don't just win for a short period of time. They stay winning. They continue to win. It's like you see Tom Brady, one of the greatest of all time in the NFL, right? This guy had some non-negotiables to be able to excel at that level in the NFL. Like, guys, you gotta have non-negotiables. Saying you see LeBron James, you see Kobe Bryant, you see Michael Jordan, non-negotiables. What's his name? I think it's Tim Grover, the guy who used to train Michael Jordan. He was like, dude, rain, sleet, or snow, doesn't matter if Michael Jordan won or lost. And he'll be like, hey man, we train tomorrow. He's like, yep, I'll be there. I'll be there at your house. And you see what I'm saying? And so it's like they have non-negotiables to be able to. It's like most people try to like set the ceiling of what they want to hit, but you really have to focus on the floor. Okay, you have to focus on the floor because your non-negotiables allows you to not fall back further than the floor, meaning you don't gain 10, 20, 30, 50 plus pounds back. Okay. And so, Lee, what up, man? I see you. Michael, what's going on? And so, super important to know the floor. For example, myself, I want to be able to look good year round. I'm posting all this content. I can't one day, 1 month just come out of nowhere and I got a big old stomach. Y'all will be like, man, what's going on, coach, man? Why your stomach so big like that? And it's because that would happen because my lifestyle shifted. My non-negotiables shifted. But some of the non-negotiables that I focus on and that I teach a lot of my coaching clients, okay? You got to make it a non-negotiable to get sleep. People don't talk about this. Trainers just talk about nutrition training. But if you don't feel well, you're not going to have the motivation to want to do anything if you're sleep deprived. And so making it a non-negotiable to get 6, 7, even up to 8 hours a night of sleep. Okay. Studies show people who get less than 6, I don't care how motivated and, rah they think they are, you can't outwork your physiology. You can't. This is why people end up having heart disease. People start having brain fog. People start having dementia at early ages because their body is breaking down. You're not taking care of yourself from a wellness standpoint. Health and wellness, not just weight loss. So sleep, hydration. How much water are you drinking on a daily basis? And let's just talk about that first, because there's some people who will reach out and they say, what about electrolytes, things like that? And it's a place for that, but that's more of like an enhancement, okay? And so you have to prioritize how much water are you drinking on a daily basis? Because if you don't know and you're drinking a lot of coffee, a lot of green tea, a lot of energy drinks, but you're not drinking water, you're gonna find yourself being like, man, I'm drinking all this caffeine, but I'm still tired. I'm still tired. You see what I'm saying? And so it's super important that you drink water also. Critical. Okay? And so once you do that, now you're gonna feel more capable. You're not gonna have that brain fog. You're not gonna have that lack of energy to want to continue to hit the gym consistently, to continue to eat the right way consistently. All right. The other non-negotiable is stress management. How do you manage your stress on a daily basis? Sleep can help with that. Hydration can help with that. Hitting the gym, making working out a non-negotiable can help with that too. It's not just the looks, guys. Okay, making sure that you're eating the right amount of food and not overeating. Because if you stuff yourself, you go have the itis. You go have brain fog. You go feel like you need to lay down and pause for a second because you didn't eat the right amount of food and you didn't eat the right quality of food. Very important to have these non-negotiables, guys. Okay. Um, Another non-negotiable that I have, I still eat processed food, guys. I still eat fast food, but there's been times in my life where I'll eat Chipotle or Chick-fil-A almost every day, just because I was just in this busy season. But I noticed, even though that food was convenient for me and quick, my energy level started dropping, guys. I started noticing that I was tired. I'm like, hey man, why I'm so tired? What's going on here? But when I started cooking more at the house, eating New York strip steak, eating chicken, eating salmon, eating the eggs, the egg whites instead of the biscuits and the Chick-fil-A nuggets and French fries. Big difference. More energy, and it helps me stay lean just by default. Like guys, these are the non-negotiables. How many days a week do you feel like you can realistically hit the gym? 3, 4, 5, whatever it is that you can stick with. Not like just do it until you get the weight off. What can you stick with? How many meals per day do you feel like you can realistically eat based on your schedule and your life? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? You got to know these things because these are your non negotiables. No matter if life gets busy and tough, hit some adversity, you're still doing the non negotiables. That way, no matter how busy life might get, you can still notice that your weight ain't going up and you can gain 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds. You're like, dang, how did I get here? I ain't got lost all these results. You see what I'm saying? Super important. I see a couple of comments. I've been working out since 2 years on and off, gained muscle, but not able to lose the fat. That's a nutrition problem. If you're not losing weight and you're building muscle, that means you're hitting the gym, but if you're not leaning out, that's a nutrition issue. Uh, High pressure slides forward and makes it. What is going on here? Yeah, that's what happens to me when I 219 to 169. I just fell off because I had stopped sticking to my diet plan. Yeah, you got to stick with it. And I appreciate you being transparent and open about that, Lee. You know, a lot of people they start some diet, start some workout plan, and then after a while they stop. And guys, it's like anything, man. It's like dating. Like think about it in dating. You dating somebody. Maybe if you marry somebody. I had a client once. I just thought about this. I had a client once when I used to do in person training, and she was like, "Ooh, Jay, I'm gonna get this body right, and then once I find me a husband, I'm gonna get fat." And I was like, "That's the worst thing you want to do." Like this is how some women they get in these relationships, they get married, and then they're like, "Baby, is it me?" Because the guy having like erectile dysfunction in the bedroom. And sometimes that guy could not be taking care of himself, but other times he may not be physically attracted to her anymore because she's gained so much weight. Or same thing with guys. They get into relationships, they get married, they start making good money in their careers, but they study gaining weight, stomach getting bigger, developing man boobs. And then after a while, what happens? ED, erectile dysfunction, low testosterone. You see what I'm saying? And so the habits that you have that got you the results, you have to keep and sustain these habits to be able to keep the results long term. And this is why I talk so much about lifestyle. If you're not dialing in your lifestyle in a way where you can realistically stick with it, guys, you're gonna find yourself disappointed. You wasting time. You got to have something that you can stick with, not following John workout plan, not following your cousin's workout plan and meal plan. What plan can you stick with? I don't have six pack abs, but I'm much stronger. Hey, it's all about what you prefer. It's not about what other people think. No problem. Yeah, man, because I was feeling good about myself. I'm trying to get back on track now. Yeah, you definitely gotta build your lifestyle, man. And the whole overarching theme of this video, know your non-negotiables. All successful people have non-negotiables. It doesn't mean that their non-negotiables are the same as the next person, but if you are seeing people who are being consistent with whether it be posting content, looking the part year round, ripped up, in shape year round, being able to excel in their career, whatever it is, and they have that consistency and they're able to stay at the top of what they're doing, they have non-negotiables. They have systems in place. Same way you have systems in place that you're following in your career, it requires no more discipline than what you're following in your career to have to adopt, new habits and systems, or should I say non-negotiables in your life. That way you can get the results and keep them. Okay? Eating more whole foods instead of processed foods. Non-negotiable. Plus I just turned 40 this month, so health is important. It's always important, man. Even more important as you get older, It's always important, but as you get into your 40s, your 50s, man, you got less room for error. When we in our teens, we can get away with eating, a little bit more junk food, a little bit more processed food. Get into your 30s, this is where you see people start gaining a lot of weight. I get people on my game plan calls. They have type 2 diabetes because their body can't metabolize that sugar like they used to, those carbs like they used to. So they develop type 2 diabetes, erectile dysfunction, sleep apnea, high blood pressure. It's people in their late 30s that are starting to develop dementia because they don't have a lifestyle. Well, they have a lifestyle. They just have the wrong lifestyle habits. But once they adopt the right lifestyle habits, they start to lose weight by default. Like guys, a lot of people think it's their genetics, they think it's their schedule, they think it's their age. No, it's just your lifestyle. This is why I do high performance lifestyle coaching because weight loss is like a means to an end. You lose the weight, you stop what you're doing, and then you gain weight back. Lifestyle, you lose weight by default, you feel better, you're more confident, your clothes fit the way you want them to. You can just, your quality of life is just better. Having an extra 30, 50, 100 pounds on you, dude, that is stressful. That is so stressful. It lowers your quality of life. Inner freedom, what's going on? So super important to focus on lifestyle habits, non-negotiables that you live by. How many hours a night are you going to sleep? How much water are you going to drink? How many meals? How many days a week are you going to hit the gym? How many days a week are you going to drink alcohol? How many days a week are you going to uh, um, um, do cardio? A lot of people think cardio is for weight loss. It's really for your mental health and your heart health. Like people don't think about that. And so they're neglecting weightlifting, but the weightlifting is what's going to build a muscle. You can't build muscle just doing cardio. And as we get older, like who was that who said something about being 40, leap. As we get older, like especially once we hit our 40s, if you are not lifting weights, this is not just from a vanity standpoint, but from a health standpoint. Guys, if you're eating a lot of processed food, a lot of refined carbs, a lot of, lemonade, sweet teas, and sodas, guys, that glucose, that sugar that you're eating and drinking is going into your body, and your pancreas is pushing insulin into your body to store that glucose somewhere, all that sugar that you're eating. All right. And then what happens is people become insulin resistant after a while because they're not utilizing the glucose. So the muscles just become saturated with all that glucose. And after so long, it's like, shoot, man, I'm full. I can't eat no more. I can't consume no more. You see what I'm saying? And then after a while, this is how people become insulin resistant or type 2 diabetic. And it doesn't matter what their career level is. Like you could be super successful. I have attorneys that are in my coaching program right now who have type 2 diabetes. And I'm having to help them bring down their A1C because of their lifestyle. And so don't allow your ambition for success to cause you to neglect your health, because people who are successful realize your health is wealth. Your health is wealth, man. Because if you land on that hospital bed and you just got to hope and pray that your kidneys, your heart, your liver pulled through, that's not a fun place to be, man. So get your health on point. Okay. Joseph say, you talking about health, you taking nah, man. Man, if I was taking roids, dude, man, you think I'd be rocked up. I would be huge if I was taking roids. There's no way. But anyway, I see your name. It says Jokester, so I get it. Anyway, but yeah, you gotta dial in your lifestyle. Make these things non-negotiables. That way you get the results and you can keep them. Don't let any trainer out there, don't let any coach out there make you think any different. It's no meal plan or diet plan or workout plan that's gonna make you lose weight and keep it off. You have to have the non-negotiables of what you're doing with those nutrition, with that meal plan. You have to continue to drink a certain amount of water. You have to continue to eat a certain amount of calories. You have to continue to eat a certain amount of protein, fiber. You see what I'm saying? Super important. Uh, let's see. No, it's not, man. I refuse to end up back in the hospital. Oh yeah, man. That's no good. Definitely don't want to be in the hospital. Uh, Justice says, I'm serious. What's your height and weight? How tall am I? I'm like 5'10", 185. Yeah, I fluctuate between like 185, 190. But yeah. But anyway, hopefully y'all found this helpful. If you would like help from me, you want me to map out a step-by-step game plan that's tailored to support your goals, your lifestyle. That way you can get the results and keep them. Okay. I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way you can learn more about coaching with me. All right. Other than that, guys, we out of here. Appreciate the support. Peace.